And did he say anything about the clerk? Of course.
Yeah. As far as the clerk goes,
Get rid of it.
Hey, who's the clerk again?
Hey, wait a minute, I gotta stay in good graces or my name will go.
Well, I'm gonna stop.
It may anyway.
Parker to be the next clerk.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right.
Son of a beach ball. But,
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had anybody tell us we should get paid this.
well, you know, the history behind, they tried to pay him and he vetoed it. He vetoed the motion and to pass it on the last motion. So this is gonna be continued. Oh. I think it's hysterical that the,
Jesus.
planning and zoning commission doesn't want to be seen.
That's part of the defibrillation services, that sudden loud noise.
Because they what do they know, we don't.
I don't know, but
Okay.
they came last year. Tape.
Mhm. Now, Schuster had played a little bit on tape, and they finally connected up. And we have 68 days from the date of the thing to publish our certification for the ballots. So I got that already started. First video. I haven't gone and looked to see what's the process for writing ballots is yet.
What?
What? Did you do the writing last time?
Did I do what?
The write-in for a
Yeah.
What all did you have to do?
Fill out a form?
Mention no more difficult.
I don't make it anything.
Yeah, you're in the Navy.
No,
okay.
no, we got it.
Oh, okay, talk to
We
you.
got it.
Oh, just on Lexington.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was, we had,
I didn't deploy.
okay, yeah, going to Haynes, we were actually on a pretty big move, but we had 60 knot headwinds and 10-foot seas.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, it wasn't that bad. I was talking about the guy, the fisherman, retired fisherman. He's like, I would have to put 45-footer on that. It was.
Where were you? Where was it?
We went to Alaska again.
Oh,
We flew up to, we actually missed the first flight. The Alaska Airlines canceled the flight on Tuesday because of the weather out. Apparently they were told that all this. They don't have the de-icing out in Seattle. They just reduced a lot of the bank. So we ended up on a flight via Anchorage on Thursday. The Snowmageddon now was didn't show, and then the next day the small ferry was canceled due to very high seas and actually it's not seas, it's freezing spray. When you get high seas and high winds, the spray freezes on the side of the boat. Oh, it's the top heavy, so.
yeah, I mean, my dad was a tugboat captain. I
Oh, was he? Was
spent a
there?
whole bunch of time. World War II, he was in the Pacific,
Okay.
and then all the lakes, all the great lakes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, I should warn you, you do not know the history behind him wearing red.
Colorado, and they were flying.
Yeah, so you may want to have him scoot down a little bit. With that red, that's, red your dead, you heard that phrase?
Well, this is the Star Trek. You're not talking about the red shirt, sorry.
Oh, no, it was more that. More when I went after Merck.
Yeah. You did flag it for us. We walked in.
Yeah. It's Christmas time. I got green and red on. I was just going more festive tonight.
It was about.
It's breathtaking, nothing short of breathtaking.
So it was it, so.
That's what she said, they did better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so. We just check what we got.
Last time I saw you, I've been watching these APC videos on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Put it back,
Got some clothes for.
And there's something that always show up. One of this young woman, she's doing her first solo, takes off and her right main gear wheel falls off.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He's like, hey, you know what?
Did you get?
Yeah.
purchase, Didn't print it out. Print off one.
You see the, no, for JFK or LaGuardia, I think it's LaGuardia. The one. Thirty minutes. Not like LaGuardia. I'll find it for you. Okay. You know, he used to have it at work, we had a whole tape put together, it was pretty, it's just impressive to hear this guy, it's like. Okay, you're next, go there, no, I'm not there, there's an Airbus in front, Airbus, who's the Airbus? Oh, that's us. Like, oh, did you, geez, you guys got this all messed up.
Yeah, that's,
That's what the county board members used to get.
Is it? You seen this one? Of course, this is the one.
I can't see this guy.
Is this the guy who takes off the cliff? Yeah.
I have seen, yeah, this is cool.
Hey there. Hey, thanks for that information. So, that exciting.
Probably not that.
I think he probably.
Takes off the.
You know, you realize.
No, that's not the one. Oh, there's one where the guy just pushes his airplane off the bottom and takes off.
I can only imagine.
That's not the one. I'll have to start sending you stuff, so.
Sure.
Yeah, let's see what I got here. I've been Anchorage 7 times, and it's the first time I've seen an owl. That was a good way to see it.
I was gonna try.
Wow.
It was, yeah, which is, what? Oh, it was very cool, yeah, it was.
You're talking about some rough water, you know, some rough water. What is that? Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad, but.
Photographs don't, especially, yeah. Oh, no, those are 6 foot swells, but.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they said, yeah. Well, they said they had some 10-footers. It was weird because you get more, this than anything else, but yeah. It's kind of when it breaks.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you probably. Christmas Day. Conte, which is their little fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a ferry boat?
Yeah, it's a very small ferry, which is a pretty good size boat. Sounds like, oh, yeah.
The green.
My dad was in Sydney retirement. He ran a ferry boat on Lake Erie.
Oh, did he?
With the Lake Erie Islands.
So that was. He pulls like 40 cars, so it's, you know.
Yeah, they're not moving too fast.
No, it was. Yeah, you good?
George is right next to him.
Yeah.
You can just email it to us.
I leave it, it might get graffiti.
You think you're retired?
Look at that.
I got a tour of the, we got stuck in Juneau for a day, almost like, I went tour of the Capitol. Yeah. You know, the security guards were the same.
Oh, that was very cool. Yeah.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. Yeah. Young Griffin came back from LA.
Wow. I forgot, what's he doing now?
He's right now he's doing sort of like graphic design and drawing. He's mostly using his art degree. Need better.
Yeah. You watch Jeopardy?
No.
Or about week like 9 with the guy in Jeopardy now is a set designer and set person, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't even know. Did really worked on handmade steel from Toronto. So it's like, yeah, so you guys got some skill, but yeah. It's just
Griffin does this, this outfit, it's sort of a special effects house, right?
Yeah, okay.
And he does, what do you call it?
That was nice.
The small miniaturized of the pages, not enough.
Thursday, I'm thinking Thursday.
Thumbnails?
Yes.
Okay,
You know, perfect well, everything was.
Yeah.
So, and I never realized that was how big a thing that was, but that's what he does, and if
of the what?
he creates these thumbnails. They have a ton of stuff,
Okay,
and if he gets sick.
wow.
So he's been trying to get him some help, and they haven't been doing that. So,
Wow.
kind of looking at that.
That's pretty cool. Oh, that's right.
No time for.
My feeling was that it sounds like an issue, but we need to change it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That was more, that,
You know what? I
that
mean,
seems like
I
the,
don't disagree.
No, I was, we have to go forward, I haven't put one on since, I haven't seen.
turn around, screw in. Looks like a typical, it's like this, but I expect that's about like that. The deck was already there, so.
Yeah.
I started using this clip. I hated it.
You're my 4-year-old.
You know what? I get a perfect match every month.
That's true.
It's another one of those things that we gotta have.
Yeah.
You know, I did this around ferries and planes and
Oh, yeah.
sit around. I always managed to sit next to a coffee person on the plane too.
When I see that, when I lose my 20 pounds.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Right.
Start next Monday.
Started.
No, January 6th.
Everybody finds, oh,
Yeah.
No. Really got into, we're all worried about my father-in-law, and he got.
Oh, yeah.
And Griffin, that was, he was on Monday and Griffin's coming in, and we realized on Wednesday, we were all doomed from snow, right? We were all.
right, yeah, right.
And so we're like, and then we were all ready to go, and there was no snow. That was right.
John? We checked, we got audio with,
Oh, yeah.
I thought you just got all part of the forms. Okay, look at everything. Like, well, why?
Mr. Schuster, you missing out.
And we just finished your Christmas dinner. It's like,
He was, he's gone.
There's something up there, Sean.
That looks like an eclipse of the moon.
He's been over here shortly.
This thing is just very small.
Barb Detmer, do you hear us?
All the time.
You're on mute. Unmute.
Hello?
Hello, I'm sorry. By the right again, my apologies.
No problem. John just had the volume up. I can see if we had problems on this end.
No, you're loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Mind your P's and Q's, one and all. Still no word from Mr. Schuster. Is Ms. Baker able to hear us?
Yes,
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
7:29 on, have a schedule. I've got 7:30 now, let's call the meeting.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Mr. Moreno. Mr. Dattley.
Here.
Mr. Harney.
Here.
Mr. Thorne.
Here.
Mr. Nimitz.
Here.
Okay, we've got 4 members in attendance. And 1 member absent and 1 seat vacant. With the governor's proclamation, we are once again allowed to continue to have a remote access to this meeting. We do not have any trustees attending remotely this evening. So, Mr. Schuster, I don't think I need roll call votes on everything, do I, sir? Unmute. Mute. Mute.
Yep, Mr. President, that's correct. As long as you have all your trustees present, there's no need for roll call votes.
Okay. That makes the clerk very happy. Thank you. It's like a Christmas present. Christmas miracle. Yep. Okay, we've got a forum, we've got a meeting. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of December 19th, 2022.
So moved, Diatley.
Second, Thorne.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thorne to approve the minutes of December 19th, 2022. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion so carries. Thank you all. Okay, the next is the president's report. We've already gone through the gubernatorial explanation. We've already got everybody in place. The next item is the vacancy of the seat in the room tonight is that of Mr. Hoffman. George resigned as of December 31st of this past year due to the fact that he has sold his residence in Sleepy Hollow and they have moved to residency in Algonquin. So no longer being a resident of Sleepy Hollow, he can no longer be on our board. He has sent us a letter of resignation. We have received his laptop and his seat will remain vacant until the election in April. Okay. The other thing is he was chair of the finance committee. With his absence, I will assume the chair for the rest of this term. And Mr. Van and I will be working on the budget again shortly. Word on that is to follow. The next item we've got on the agenda is petition for a zoning text amendment reference to B3 commercial and mixed use zoning area. If you all recall earlier this last year, I mentioned that we were going to be doing a petition for rezoning of what is been known as the Crichton property or the Gall property, which is that peninsula that we have on the north side of 72 with Burlow Manors. So the petition was drawn up, and at this point, we had some conversation last time. One of the things we did do was remove distribution from one of the uses that would be allowed there and made it a prohibited situation. Warehousing can be done, but warehousing is passive, distribution is active. So that's where we stand on that. I would appreciate a motion to so approve the petition on the zoning text.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Nemec, seconded by Hoffman to approve the, by who? I'm sorry, by
Close enough.
Harney. It started with an H.
You did.
I'm sorry, I had Mr. Hoffman on the brain there for a couple of minutes. Okay, so we've got the motion and the second for the zoning amendment. Are there any comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, this one I'm gonna have a roll call on. Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Hardy. Aye. Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Nimitz.
Aye.
4 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes. Once again, the petition for the zoning map amendment for the Gall properties. I appreciate a motion so approved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Nemick, seconded by Thorne. Any comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, roll call please.
Mr. Nimitz,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Mr. Hardy, Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
4 affirmative votes and no negative votes, the motion so passes. Thank you, one and all. Okay, that will be it for the president's report. The next is the clerk's report.
I have no reports, tonight.
Thank you, Tom. Planning and zoning. Ms. Detmer. No report. Okay, next item is the attorney's report. Mr. Schuster.
Is that got the ordinance for the ADA variance? Yes,
Yes, sir.
right. So the owner of the property at 1909 Maria Court has put together a petition to the village under the Americans with Disabilities Act, looking for some extra height on what's referred to as a deck fence, but in fact is some lattice work to provide shade and less brightness and so on a portion of her deck, so that I find that it complies with and calls out for a reasonable accommodation. The Americans with Disabilities Act does provide that a local government should be prepared to alter its policies and procedures as necessary to accommodate someone who has made an appropriate application. So what is before you is an ordinance that would allow this, not under the zoning code, but under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
They're looking for a motion to approve
Yes, we are.
the variance for, as requested in our packet at 1909 Maria Court.
Is that a motion, Joe?
That's a motion, yes.
Okay, Joe's motion is to approve the request for the variance of 1909 Maria Court. Got a second?
Second, Diatley.
Moved by Nemick, seconded by Diatley to approve the request for a variance of 1909 Maria Court. Are there any comments, questions, or discussion? There being no further comments or discussion, all those in favor signify by saying.
Mr. President, an ordinance, you should have a roll call to be sure, excuse me, just to be sure of the count. Takes 4 affirmative votes to pass, please.
Roll call.
Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Mr. Hardy,
Aye.
Mr. Nimitz,
Aye.
4 affirmative votes and no negative votes, the motion so passes. Okay, variance.
Yes, one other comment. I've reached out to the ICOPS union representatives, and we plan sometime soon to arrange for an initial bargaining session for the collective bargaining agreements at issue for the part-time and for the full-time police officers in the village.
Okay. Starting the new year off with a bang. Anything else, Mr. Schuster?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Engineers report. Mr. Steele is under the weather this evening and is not with us. We did say, Joe, you had some words to say later about the water.
Yeah, I can actually cover it now. So I did talk to Mr. Steele today, and he said that waiting for definitive figures from our was it Deco money, and once we have that, he has a plan set to go that we can put out the bid. He'd like to leave it out for bid for a significant, couple months to make sure we get a good bid. He said he's about 6 months away from, so within the next 6 months, he will be submitting our package or our request for the IEPA for the water loan. So we will see how it goes from there. So I believe there'll be a 1-year process, 2-year process, 3-year process before they finally decide if they want to give us money or not. So
a 1 to 3 year process?
And that's what he taught me, advised us. He said, you know, it all depends on where you fit and when they want to give you money, and so. I'll have to go from there, so.
Okay.
But there's a good chance we get the worst fixed this year, so let's hope so.
Okay. All right, thank you, Joe. Next item on the agenda is the finance report. Mr. Hand.
And the warrants, today is an amount for $5,750. The board previously approved paying for the replacement of a portion of the driveway and the culvert for, so that was damaged during some repair work for a water main. Subsequent to our discussion on approving that, the owner wanted to just redo the entire driveway. So instead of us paying Sandman to repair it and then have everything torn up again, it was my understanding that it was agreed that we would just pay what the estimate was that Sandman had and have the owner of the property repair the entire drive. It's my understanding that the driveway work is complete, but it's not been approved yet because there's a little bit of swale work that needs to happen. So what we had wanted to do is have the check cut at this time and hold on to it until it is actually approved. This way, there's not a 2-week gap between us, before the project got approved by ICCI and us being able to get the money to the owners. So I am requesting an approval for the warrants in the amount of $78,586.61.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Nemec, seconded by Thorne to approve the warrants of January 3rd, 2023, in the amount of $78,586.61. Any comments, questions, discussion? Additions, deletions? There being none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Nimitz.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye. 4 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes.
That's all I have.
That's it. All right, thank you, Eugene. Next item, comments from the public. Do you have any public comments this evening? No, okay.
Okay.
That means the next on the agenda is Mr. Harney, Roads and Parks.
If anybody wants to buy any park equipment, let us know. We found a program that we're putting it up for bid. Basically, we'll take almost any amount of money if people or an organization wants to come and disassemble it, basically cut it off at the footings and remove it. We could come to that agreement. I give credit to Eugene for finding what's it called?
Golf deals.
Gov Deals. Where it's an online auction, so that will be going up shortly. So if anyone hears of any entity interested in park equipment, direct them our way.
Just what the advantage of doing it this way is that it saves us the expense of having to remove it ourselves. Whether we pay someone to do it or have Kyle do it.
The backup plan is we'll do it, but we'll try to avoid that. Nothing else to report, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Ed. Finance, since that's now going to be covered by me. All I can say is that Van and I will be getting together to set up the procedure for the budget for the 2024 fiscal year coming up. So I know we just celebrated 23, but we're looking at 24 now. So I hope you enjoyed 23. Next is water and sewer, Mr. Nemec.
I think I covered everything, but I believe I was talking to you earlier. I think we may have had a record number of water main breaks this year. Do you agree with that, Kyle? Yeah. So, yeah. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Joe. Police and public safety, Mr. Diatley.
I don't have anything this evening, but I will yield some time to the chief. He has something he needs to talk about.
Just, yeah, two real brief things. Our video cameras are being installed Friday in our squad cars. So we'll get ourselves where we need to be with the video cameras. Looking forward to that. Then I've got a department training next week for both administrative and officers use. So that should be done. We should be up and running within the next 2 weeks with those. So looking forward to that. Also, over the last couple of weeks, we had in this room, we had our firearm simulator set up. I'd sent out an email to all the trustees, inviting any of the trustees to participate in it, because I think it's a great opportunity to see kind of how bad things can go, how quickly things can go bad when when you least expect it. And it gives you a unique perspective into how or what our officers go through to make decisions on the street. It's tough this time of year, but I did have Trustee Harney that came in and did participate in it. Now I'll yield my time to him to let us know what he thought about going through the process.
Sure, I'll gladly do that. I showed up, I happened to be in town, federal plans canceled, and the chief made an appointment with Officer Joe Stegman. And so I showed up down here not knowing what to expect. I came into the meeting room here, which was dark and a huge screen set up. And that Officer Stegman gave me a little bit of an idea what we were going to do. He armed me with a baton, a taser, and an actual firearm that shot blanks in a holster. And then we talked a little bit before we got started in the scenarios that he was going to put me in. The main thing is we're going to try to de-escalate the situation verbally. That's naturally in every situation. That's what we would want to do, given the chance to do that. But the first scenario, all of a sudden I'm in a scenario, standing in front of the screen. And you get into it, I'll tell you, the heart rate gets going. But the first scenario was a traffic stop that didn't go well, because I think I was killed within a minute or two. I wasn't aware. Now I'm aware. And they can throw any scenario at you. We did answering a domestic violence call. We did a burglar break-in suspect. We did suicide by cop. We did show up for active school shooter. And it feels like you're in that situation. But what a training device this simulator presents. So I'm giving a little extra detail, but give them a chance next year if it comes around, and if people are in town, take advantage of it. It really strengthens the awareness of what the law enforcement community does for us and what they need to anticipate each day they come to work. So I appreciate it, Chief, and highly recommend the opportunity to do it again if presented.
We have it December 19th next year, all the way through the first, and we try and tailor our scenarios to things that our officers are most likely going to deal with out here. School shootings, traffic stops, domestics, and things like that. And each scenario has 10 different outcomes based on how the officer running it programs it. It could end peacefully, or it could end not so peacefully. So I appreciate you taking time to go through it.
My pleasure. What time on December 19th?
Just remember your blood medication. Oh, okay. Anything else, Mr. Daly?
Nothing further today.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Chief. Building and environment, Mr. Thorne.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Building and zoning, Mr. Perino, here this evening and did not.
May I?
Yes, Ms. Detmer.
I'm not sure if you've had an opportunity to meet it, but after many hours, I finally got the fees ready, and just wanted to let you know that at the end of it, because of some questions that have come up in the past, I went ahead and looking at neighboring communities and easing kinds of things, added in zoning development type fees, both for filing, for escrow, etc. So that there's some sort of a guideline going forward. So we hopefully don't run into situations like we have in the past where people have wondered about establishing escrows when there's a variance or something like that requested. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Detmer. Okay, into old business, so resolution 550, which we had postponed in the December 19th meeting. I'm going to ask that we postpone one more time this evening. I've word that West Dundee will entertain this in their January 9th meeting, at which time we will take it up on the 16th of January. Any other old business to come before the board this evening? No old business to come before the board, new business? Any new business to come before the board this evening?
Motion to adjourn, sir.
I heard stereo.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion to adjourn by Nemick, seconded by Diatley. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we are adjourned.
We're adjourned.
Thank you one and all.
It's like a land speed record. I should give you my, my.
Five, so.